Hello, this is Jenny Mok Sin Teng. I'm a theater director and actor and also a art education practitioner working here in Macau. And today I'm sharing on behalf of myself and my theater company, Comuna de Pedra. It's been 2 months and a half since here in Macau we've got our first diagnosed case. And right now all the performance venues are still closed. So we don't know when things are going to get back to normal, but hopefully we can open shows again in June, but we don't know, just finger crossed. So right now, projects are either cancelled or postponed. We've got a show that is supposed to be shown in the Art Festival this year in May that already got postponed to next year. And the problem is you either lose the money or you won't get the money now, which is more or less the same case for us because of course, we can't secure the income of our production team and artists then. And also at the same time, the bigger thing will be the rent because that's our heaviest expense. Right now, we're renting two space, like a studio space and also an office. Normally, we use our studios a lot. It's most of the time quite full because we use it for training, workshops, rehearsals, and stuff like that. However, like we are already paying the rent for 2 months and a half, almost like for nothing because like there are just very limited things that's going on right now. And if we are really looking into probably in June things are going to get better, that means we are going to pay rent 4 to 5 months, which is actually a large amount for us non-profitable organizations. There is a problem regarding to that, like when we lose projects, of course, we lose the money. The bigger problem is about the cultural policy because the sponsorship system that we are having right now, there's no vision for supporting local communities, like theater companies to have long-term development. So we are still running project by project based funding system. That means when in situations like that, when you lose a project, then you just don't have the money. And it's creating, of course, like for a long time, we talked about this already. It's a problem and we're not business. And in a situation like that, we just don't have the money put aside because we don't have income. Like we don't earn money like business. So we just don't have money for, say for instance, rent. And for us, hopefully we will get the good news that we won't have our owner increase our rent, because if that's the case, that it's going to be really a problem. We might not be able to support ourselves of having these two space again, but we'll see what happens. So far, the government haven't had concrete policy to support or help the art community yet. I mean, there are some programs that they have launched for small business, which makes sense because they're having a hard time. Like they have digital coupons where each citizen will have 3,000 MOP basically given by the government to help or to buy food or to buy things from the retail support like that. And there's also this subsidized training program for the unemployed or for specific occupation that's been hit quite hard in these pandemic situation. However, the art sector is not in any of these occupation categories. That makes us genuinely quite disappointed because we know that the government is just not putting us into any kind of consideration, like when they are thinking about this support policy. I mean, there are some like the cultural center are only one official venue organized by the government. They are going to free out the rent. So if you rent the venues from now or until next year March, I think something, then you don't have to pay. But that, I would say that doesn't help much for this urgent situation right now. there's one good thing. Because we're not receiving any help and because we're simply just not in the consideration. So there are some fellow artists that have initiated a forum a little more than a week ago. So we all theater practitioners, artists, we all come together and we try to brainstorm and think about what kind of strategies or policy that we would need the government to help or support us on, like in terms of short term, medium term, or long term, like the cultural policy from a longer perspective or vision. We haven't had anything back yet. I mean, we've drafted a letter and sent it to the government. There's no news back. So hopefully there will be some good news about some funding policy to help these people, this group of artists, to get through this really hard time. Yeah, and we don't know yet for Comuna de Pedra. We have our next show. The upcoming show is scheduled in June, and hopefully at that time things already get better. Yeah, let's just hope for the best. And you too, 加油